Hello, one and... oh, stay there. I'm in a Costa drive-thru. I'm doing a video, so picking up me large iced Americano with a shot of vanilla and oat milk. I'm gonna do an Unpopular Opinions travel edition, bringing back my travel series. There's a person in front of me with their window open, so I need to like stop talking to myself because the lady's looking in the rear view mirror. I'm a bad bitch, she's a savage, no comparison here. We're great with swerving, keeping his mind on these curves. I got my compass to the heavens. Now, I've never had an iced Americano. I've had an Americano, which is just coffee with shots in, right? No, I'm actually quite scared because I hate coffee. Hey guys, welcome back to another video of mine. Today, I didn't even do the intro like I normally do. Today we're going to be talking about Unpopular Opinions Travel Edition because I already started a travel series on my YouTube, but I kind of abandoned it because panoramic. Let me try this. It's going to make me poo myself, probably. It's literally straight coffee. Help. Oh, actually. Now, it's nice, it's strong, but if it didn't have vanilla in it, I think I would have thrown up because it's very, very strong. Right, so I asked on my Instagram for some unpopular travel opinions, and I also Googled some because I got like 4. Let's just keep it real. Do you know what? The people are staring in that car and I don't care. I have to get a thumbnail as well. This is gonna be embarrassing. I think doing thumbnails is probably the most embarrassing thing. Right, let's start off with the Instagram ones. I'm not going to pop on the screen, whatever. First one, Prague is low-key boring. Now, I had to disagree with you there. Prague was the first place I went to on my solo backpacking trip in 2019. The day I'm filming this is a year since I was in Bangkok and I got scammed. I love Prague. I think it was really lovely. It was very gothic. I love the buildings. The alleys were really beautiful. And when you look down, I'll insert some footage. When you look down from the astronomical clock, you can see all the layout of the streets and everything. And I think everything is kind of like apparently a maze. Prague is set out like a maze to confuse invaders, apparently. That's one of the facts I learned on my walking tour. It was busy. The main area is of every like main tourist city is going to be heaving, but I watched the sunset on Charles Bridge, gorgeous on like a turret, beautiful sunset. Go watch that video, go watch that series. I wish I knew what I was looking for in terms of like trying more local food. I had loads of beers, so that was good. Prague is nice. The hostel I stayed in was really nice. I'd actually quite like to go again. Prague is fun. There's not tons to do. I think that's what the response comes from, but as it is, Prague is a really beautiful city and I would go again, just to kind of travel a bit slower. And I'm gonna pop the definition on screen. And I realized that I want to do more of this as I got older, and now coming back from panoramic life, I want to travel slower, especially after Southeast Asia. I want to stop in a place for longer, like a month or 2. Prague is somewhere I'd like to spend like a month, just like living like a local. It seems like it'd be fun. It's not all good food. Sometimes you live off beer, granola bars. Agreed. In Thailand, I literally lived off 7-Eleven, cheese toasties, garlic bread and water. They were like what, 50p, less than 50p, and one night that was our dinner. Actually most nights it was our dinner or lunch. Like we'd have 2 of those and like a coffee. The coffees in 7-Eleven, great, massive one you can get for like, I don't know, like £1. Brilliant, love it. And sometimes it is, sometimes you just gotta grab and go, and sometimes getting granola bars and like sandwiches and things like that is just the way you gotta live, and it adds to the fun of it. Most days you can't even brush your hair. It's so salty and your skin feels like it's made of sand. Yeah, and that's not fun. I think something even worse than that is when sand gets stuck in your shoes. You come back from the beach and all your stuff is covered in sand for the remainder of the century. It's not all beach bum Insta posts. I would never post a beach bum Insta post. Sometimes it's a million-hour buses. Oh my god, the amount of buses we took in Southeast Asia that just took hours and hours. Even in Europe I took from Split to Ljubljana, hell. The one to Split from, I don't know where I was in before Split, was hell. Buses, transport, nah. Sometimes that's the reality of travel. You post the best bits, but actually sometimes it's really tiring, and hours and hours. Singapore, I think we were on the bus for 13-14 hours. And in Southeast Asia, they don't do anything on time, so everything just takes forever. But it adds to the fun of it. Now, I'm gonna go on BuzzFeed, because that's the only amount of things I got, because I ain't famous. I don't like going on holiday. It's a lot of effort and money, plus I hate being away from home. I relate to the latter. I get homesick quite quickly, and I did quite a lot in Southeast Asia. I keep referring to Southeast Asia because that's the one highlight of my life in the past year. And now I can't use it anymore because it's a year now. Actually, I still can't until like March which is the time I came home, so I can still milk it. I agree, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money, but I think I personally prefer having experiences and memories rather than things. So I think each to their own. Whatever people like spending their money on is up to them, and some people it doesn't float their boat, so I understand that. If you're gonna go abroad and just eat your home cuisine food, then what's the point in going away? I feel this strongly. I'm not gonna name names, but traveling with certain people who go to a different place and just eat basic food and say they want to experience a culture or try new things, and they stick to chips, and I'm like, hun, if we get into it, I'm gonna name a name, and I shouldn't. I agree with that. What is the point? Like, if you're going to a certain... I get that some people are picky eaters, and I understand that, but I'm also like, you only live once, go on, man, come on. Like, what is the point of going a million miles away and having a packet ready salted crisp? Like, you can get that at home. That's the joy and adventure in life. Try new things and try things that might make you uncomfortable, aka meeting a bloody scorpion in the middle of Coast Road. I don't like itineraries. Now, half and half with this. I used to love planning every single detail. Now, not so much, but I still like to have a safety net of a plan in place. Itineraries are kind of good to pad out. I want to move towards more of a basic framework and then padding it out as I go, but I do see the appeal of itineraries and also see the not appeal of itineraries. Cities are garbage to visit. Bangkok, yes! Bangkok was horrible. I've literally ranted about Bangkok in every single video I've ever made. Hated it, but Singapore, woof my god. Beyond words, watch that vlog. This is literally just me plugging all my other videos. Cities are, I do agree with that to a certain extent, because a lot of cities in Vietnam I really didn't like, but non-city places like Munich and places like Hue and those kind of like outskirt places I really liked, so I do agree with that. But then Singapore is there, and New York, I haven't been to New York yet, but I really want to go. And cities in Europe I love. Berlin, Amsterdam, yum. If you go to the Louvre, Mona Lisa will be a huge disappointment. Disappointment. Now, I've seen the Mona Lisa 4 times. Very underwhelming, purely because it's not fun, because there's so many people. It's a huge disappointment, yeah, because it's so small and there's so many people and that you're fighting to get through just to have a look at it. It's not worth it. I actually like airports. They're not that bad. Airports are fun. I just hate getting there so early. But airports are fun. They're just like this weird limbo place before the adventure begins. Yeah, the vibe, feeling of checking in and just relaxing, having a beer, having a cocktail at 9 AM in the morning. It is overpriced hell, but it's this weird limbo. I couldn't give a shit about scenery or museums, but if there's something on the McDonald's menu that we don't have back at home, I'm getting it. I love museums, I love scenery, but I also love McDonald's. Hence why I've done a McDonald's Around the World series. Peep that as well. This is literally just a self-plug for everything else. Flying first class isn't all the hype, and I wouldn't know. At the end of the day, I think one day I'd like to experience it on a long haul flight, because I think it's more worthwhile. Whereas if it's a short haul flight, I don't understand it. But just to say I did it and I got to experience it, I want to do it once in my life. Open top bus tours are amazing, even in your home city. No, I don't like them. They're overpriced, they're really expensive, and you could do it yourself for cheaper. I don't like them, but I think if you're tight for time, I think they're a good idea. Paris isn't worth all the hype it gets. Sorry about this lighting. Oh god, I'm gonna have to... Paris is beautiful, Paris is gorgeous, but I do agree it's not worth the hype purely because it's so expensive. I find it ridiculously priced. But food, je ne sais quoi. Airplane turbulence is fun. No, it makes me sick, it makes me feel sick, it makes me uncomfortable, it makes me scared. I think I'm gonna die. Final destination is to blame. One of the best things to do abroad is to go to the supermarket and buy chocolate you don't get at home. Going to the supermarket in a foreign country is an experience in itself, so 100% back that one. I wish they had kid-free flights. Agree. Screaming children, especially on a long haul flight, not the one. Let me take a sip of my coffee, because that is tea, even though this is coffee. Reclining your seat on a long haul flight is totally fine. If you ask permission from the person behind you and don't just whack them in the face if they're trying to eat or watching something, just be courteous and be polite. The best travel experiences are to be had when something goes wrong or not to plan. Agreed. It makes for a better story, to be honest. Okay, when we got scammed in Bangkok. Like, we laugh about it now, but it was terrifying in the moment. I don't mind airplane food at all. I don't mind it. It's bland, it's horrible, but it's food. Like, the desserts are always 10 out of 10. They always give you like chocolate brownie or cake or something, and I'm like, give me more. And I always ask for more because I'm a greedy bitch. Just walk around a city and get lost. I agree with that. I used to hate doing that because I found it boring, but it's actually where you stumble upon the best cafes, the best restaurants, the best coffee shops, the best ice cream parlors. In Split, I got lost in the alleyways of the city, like the main square, and like old ruins, and it was gorgeous, it was stunning, and I found a really cute cafe and it was so much fun. You felt like you'd been transported back in time. Beach holidays are boring. 70% agree, 30% don't. Sometimes I just like doing nothing or like going for a paddle and like now snorkeling, but I am brown, so I don't really need to tan, and I find them boring. I'm like, if you're gonna spend that much money, I get that you want to relax, but also like I want to go to a city and like eat my way through a city, because you know, look at the size of me. Sometimes the touristy things are popular for a reason. Don't be afraid to go mainstream. 100% agree with that. Hostels are better than hotels. Do you know what? In Southeast Asia and like countries like that, hostels tend to be nicer than hotels because there's more backpackers. And oh my gosh, the hostel I stayed in Hue, absolutely stunning. I did not enjoy Bali. I did, but I also didn't because I went with my family, and my family didn't really want to do a lot of activities. Plus, tourism has really ruined it. A lot of natural sites have been disgustingly damaged and wrecked by people, and it's really sad to see. And I know I'm part of the problem as well, but I am doing my bit, if that makes sense. But yeah, it makes me sad. Discount airlines are my guilty pleasure. Agreed. £2 to fly to a different country, I'm on board on. Right, I'm gonna leave it at that, because I've done about 4 different pages. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know your unpopular travel opinions down below, if you have any. But with that said, I hope this fills in your little travel lust. It's filled mine, and it's made me reminisce and made me a bit sad now. But hopefully one day soon we'll be able to fly off and jet off and vacay and staycay. I'm going to continue this travel series because I kind of just had a blip with it. But till the next one, take care, stay safe, reminisce, and I shall see you guys very soon.